Rich man leaves safe unlocked to trap his driver. What happened next shocked him. Theodore Blackwood had built his fortune through real estate investments, but his wealth had made him increasingly paranoid about everyone around him. When valuable items started vanishing from his penthouse, an antique watch, expensive cologne, rare coins, his suspicion immediately fell on Carlos, his trusted driver of 3 years. Carlos Mendoza was a soft-spoken family man who had never missed a day of work. He kept Theodore's collection of luxury vehicles spotless, navigated the city's traffic with skill, and had even saved Theodore from a potential mugging the previous year. Yet Theodore's distrust gnawed at him relentlessly. The trap was cunningly devised. Theodore would leave his office safe conspicuously open, with bundles of cash totaling $8,000 visible inside. A concealed camera would record everything, finally providing the evidence Theodore craved. He rubbed his hands together with satisfaction, certain he would soon expose Carlos's true nature. Days passed as Theodore obsessively reviewed the security footage. Carlos entered the office only for his regular duties, organizing schedules, retrieving car keys, delivering messages. He never even glanced toward the open safe. On the 5th day, however, the camera recorded something that would leave Theodore speechless. Carlos entered the office carrying a small envelope, but instead of approaching the safe, he walked directly to Theodore's desk. He placed the envelope prominently where Theodore would see it, then noticed the safe standing wide open. Without hesitation, Carlos immediately closed the safe and spun the combination lock. He then pulled out his phone and called Theodore directly. "Sir, I found your office safe open when I came to leave these documents. I've secured it for you. You might want to check if everything is still inside." Theodore stared at the footage in complete shock. His driver, the man he'd suspected of theft, had just protected his money and alerted him to a security breach. Shame washed over Theodore as he realized the magnitude of his misjudgment. Curious about the envelope Carlos had left, Theodore rushed to his office. Inside was a handwritten note and several crumpled receipts. The note read, "Mr. Blackwood, I've been replacing the items that have gone missing from your home. I found them in your nephew Jake's room when I drove him home last week. I didn't want to cause family problems, so I've been quietly buying replacements with my own money. I hope this helps. Carlos." The receipts showed purchases for an expensive watch, cologne, and collectible coins, everything that had disappeared. Carlos had been protecting Theodore's relationship with his troubled nephew while sacrificing his own modest salary to replace the stolen items. Theodore's hands trembled as he read the note twice more. His trusted employee had been shielding him from a painful family truth while Theodore had been plotting to destroy him. The irony was devastating. In trying to catch a thief, Theodore had nearly lost the most honest person in his life. That evening, Theodore called Carlos into his office. With tears in his eyes, he confessed about the trap and apologized profusely. He gave Carlos a substantial raise, a bonus to reimburse his expenses, and most importantly, his complete trust. Carlos simply smiled and said, "I understand your caution, sir. Trust is earned, not given." From that day forward, Theodore's paranoia began to fade. He learned that sometimes the people we suspect the least are the ones protecting us the most. Carlos continued as his driver, but more importantly, became the friend Theodore never knew he needed. The real shock wasn't catching a thief, it was discovering that honesty and loyalty still existed in a world where Theodore had forgotten how to recognize them.